So any like ground rules?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. All right, welcome everybody to the supporter watch along for El Paso Locomotive versus Colorado Springs Switchbacks. I'm Phil Bakke. I'm joined by Mika Burrell tonight. Mika, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, pleasure to be here. Hi everyone.
It is we do this for every away game. It's a lot. I think it's a lot of fun because I like talking through the game anyways. When I'm watching it, I'm probably talking at the TV. So this is, I don't know how you go through watching a football match, Mika, but I know it can be a strange experience when you're just watching, kind of sitting, talking to yourself. So this gives us a little bit of a interaction and lets all our
Exactly.
Locomotive fans kind of talk to each other during the game.
Yes, and please do comment on the stream. Let us know your thoughts. Chirp us if you want. I know Fernie's already in the chat.
Bernie's
oh
in the
my
chat
goodness.
prior to going live. He's in the chat. So like
Yeah.
this is no, it is live. We're at it. We've got beverages in hand, and we're ready for 90 minutes of a good match. We have the first appearance, as Mika is showing, of the sky blue kits.
Yes.
This is monumental, and they've put white numbers on them,
Which is,
and that is horrifying.
yeah. You know what? If we can channel Manchester City's form in our sky blues, then I'm about it.
This this is going to be difficult to call from Locomotive's perspective because you cannot see the numbers. So we're just gonna have to go by looks. But Switchbacks have kicked off. The game's underway, and we are playing at the only field in USL that is at a higher elevation than Southwest University Park.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think Widener Field is at 8,000 feet above sea level, something like that. So I don't know. I think our guys will be able to hang with them in terms of fitness. So we'll see.
We definitely will. I think as Locomotive kind of enjoying a little spell of possession here, just trying to play out from the back. Colorado Springs playing a pretty high press, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like kind of your standard 3-man press down the wings.
Interesting back pass there, but Ketterer
yeah.
able to clear it long. Seb going after it, but it's headed out for a Locomotive throw. So it does look like it's going to be kind of that hammer and anvil type approach of they're going to try and press high and we're going to try and play it through them.
Exactly, and I think that Mark probably talked to the guys before the match and said, we need to get the goal early. So it's going to take us having to play through this press to get something on goal early here, but that's kind of what you got to do when you're away.
Fernie giving me a thumbs down for the shirt. I'm not surprised. But after Liverpool's win today, I will make no apologies as Locomotive playing through the press pretty well. Looks like a foul there as my stream just kind of loses. It was Resend actually drawing the foul, and the free kick played out wide now for Kiffy, who just kind of collects. He's looking for a ball into the box, and he just can't quite find it. Keeps getting blocked off. It's headed away.
Yeah, as you can see here, Colorado Springs' backline is pretty disjointed at times. I think that's something that Locomotive are going to want to target. They're not always in sync with one another. They are prone to mistakes, so I think that's where our opportunities will come, is just targeting those center backs that aren't always – it looks like they're not always communicating well with each other, and right there you saw some gaps. So
yeah, and an early set-piece chance here for Locomotive. Seb is over it, and he's definitely going to look to whip this one in to the box. It's low, kind of easy to deal with for Colorado Springs, and the diving header eventually puts it out. But Locomotive, doing a decent job here in the opening minutes of not only keeping possession, but keeping a little bit of pressure up.
that's right. And here's Steve Tritzsha.
Tricha.
Fifth season as head coach, so Switchbacks do have some continuity, something that, of course, a first-year franchise like us won't have. So.
Yeah, Resend plays into a little bit of trouble there. Switchbacks with their first real foray into the Locomotive half, but really good job of tracking back by Seb, and he's played a great ball through for Jerome. Jerome's running in behind. He doesn't have any support. Got caught kind of up the field by himself. Looks for a chip to the back post, but never getting there, and kind of a wasted opportunity there.
Yeah, the late runs into the box is something that we talked about on the last podcast. The guys really need to get that going. Jerome finds himself on the wing with no support way too often.
Switchback's coming out now, and foul given there against Chiro and Toko. He came out to claim the ball. Does he give a handball? There wasn't a lot of contact, it didn't look like, so I'm interested to see the replay and just see what.
Of course, the stream craps out at the vital moment.
Well, it's like, I mean, I'm sure you had plenty of experience watching Arsenal in those days, in the early illegal bootleg stream days.
Totally,
and
before NBC blessed us.
Yeah. And I mean, it always seemed like your stream would go out right before a goal.
Totally. All the time.
So luckily our stream's back up, which
Right.
gives me hope for this free kick. It's about 21, 22 yards out, right at the top of the circle, at the top of the box, central, and definitely a dangerous position. But luckily, as a Liverpool fan, luckily Messi's not standing over this one.
It looks like Jome's the one over it. He's kind of been the danger man for switchbacks, and he is a left back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Make of that what you will, but he's kind of been doing a lot of the offensive work for his team in the early going.
Not the worst free kick I've ever seen, but pretty central and easy for Ketterer to save as Resend there. Coming central again, we saw this a lot against Phoenix.
Yeah.
He likes to come inside and kind of help out the midfield a lot.
Yeah, and I have to wonder if those are actually instructions from Mark, or if he just says, hey, go out there and you've got a free attacking role, because Resend he's everywhere.
Yeah.
For better or for worse.
Yeah,
So.
we'll see how it progresses over the match. He's kind of tucked inside even without the ball as well. It's interesting. Is loose pass there, but Seb not able to latch onto it. I did think for a second that maybe that was a good opportunity to win the ball higher up the field, but not quite. Didn't quite have the legs to get there, and switchbacks coming back the other way. I think it's Shinya. That is going to be a tough one. Yeah. Shin Yashiki, I believe, getting down that left-hand side. Number 99, not tough to spot when you can actually see his numbers. But it looked here just a little bit of contact by Yuma, but I don't think it's been given. I think it's a goal kick.
By the way, Yuma's former club, Rayo Vallecano, have been relegated. So that sucks.
That's a shame.
But at least Yuma's here with us, so hopefully he puts in a good showing today.
Fernie's asking what a switchback is.
I don't know. I asked Fernie because I have no clue what it was. He said it's like a winding mountain road, which I guess makes sense for Colorado. I honestly thought it was like a snake or something. Like a switchback sounds like some kind of reptile. I don't know. But I was wrong.
I think it's a windy kind of mountain trail, like a hiking trail.
There you go.
Where it is going one way and then switches back the opposite way,
okay.
I think, when you're going up a steep mountain. But it is it's definitely an odd nickname for a team, and that's coming from a team that is named after trains. So,
but at least everyone knows what a locomotive is. Well,
right.
Kinda. So
most.
Yeah, I'll give them points. I'll give them points for originality.
Yeah, we are just through the first about 7 full minutes here. They're bringing up the USL Academy. I don't know if you saw this in midweek. They brought the USL Academy League, and Locomotive is apparently joining. It was news to me that we had eligible players for that.
I honestly didn't know we had an academy. I knew we had, youth camps and the like, but
right.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll be talking about that soon in the future on the pod, and I'd love to see kind of what our young guys from the community can bring. I mean, we do have 3 El Pasoans in the team, so if we can kind of, farm that talent, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's I found out that it is a U17 league.
Okay.
So it is really, really young. Even compared to, Premier League teams who feel, the Premier League 2 at U23s and then U18s at youth level. Like,
right.
U17 is, that's a pretty low bar in terms of the actual age threshold.
Right.
I thought it might be one of those situations where it's kind of U23. Oh, good ball played through here. I think it's Jerome on the end of it. He can't get on the end of it.
Jerome does well to pass it back to his goalkeeper, and it's cleared out. Is it just me, or is this game pretty physical in the early going?
Yeah, it does seem that way. There's a lot of battles kind of shaping up early on. And I guess we'll see who can come out on top. We know Jerome can get pretty physical when need be up top there, but 90 minutes at high altitude, it'll be interesting to see how long he can hang with a battle like that.
Yeah, I raved about Jerome's fitness on the podcast, and I have been impressed with how fit he's been. He's, before he joined us, he was trialing with some clubs in Europe, so kudos to him for being such a professional and being prepared to join a club as soon as the opportunity became available. I think he'll do okay at this altitude, but let's see. I think it is gonna take a lot of endurance for someone to get the win here tonight.
For sure. Switchbacks win it high after a press. Long ball searching for a forward, but they're not able to get on the end of it. I think it's Kiffy trying to play out of trouble here. Finds Chiro with an opportunity to play it back to Ketterer. Pretty dangerous, but I mean, we've seen this whole season there is no lack of confidence from El Paso's defenders in playing the ball around the back.
Not at all, and especially with Chiro. I mean, the guy is so big that you wouldn't think he's agile, but he is for his age and for the position that he plays. He's got twinkle toes, so I trust him. I trust him on the ball.
So Harry Austin is in the chat. Harry is like a legend among USL podcasts.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Hi, Harry.
He takes in more USL content than probably anyone in the whole league. Like, he knows everything and listens to every podcast. Like, and I really do appreciate having you as a listener, Harry. And he said, just if teams did not have an academy, as far as the USL Academy stuff, they partnered with a local academy. So I think the partnership that I've seen so far is Switchbacks might have an opportunity here from out wide. Yuma does really well to win that ball. Still sticking to the principles. We're going to play out from the back here. And Mishak in a little bit of trouble, bails himself out for a throw. It is, I think the partnership for Locomotive is with Segundo Barrio.
Okay.
I think so. So we could easily see those youth players, I guess, make up the Locomotive Academy at least to start, before we have our own full-fledged kind of academy teams.
And you know what? That's really awesome, because not only is Segundo Barrio, they have a lot of talented players, but they're also, making sure that kids are doing productive things with their time. I mean, in El Paso, it can unfortunately be easy to fall in with the wrong crowds and all that. So it's great that these kids have football, and that a lot of them are really quite talented, and they could, join Locomotive sometime in the future.
Offside call there as we cross into the 12th minute against Switchbacks. Relieves a little bit of pressure. They'd been building a little bit. Nothing too strenuous for El Paso to deal with, but had been keeping the pressure up. Now Ketterer will look to play this one out. The sun's a little bit of an issue, it looks like, here as it's setting in Colorado. Yeah,
I know we had joked in the week that we might be dealing with snow or something, but it actually looks like it's a decent day out there. I'll be interested to see how he fares with his long balls when we switch sides, because the sun is pretty much directly in his eyes right now.
Yeah. We've got, speaking of, I mean, Fernie was asking what the weather's like. It looks pretty good. I can't tell what the wind is, though. That's the only outlying issue, because I know our last away match at Austin, it was incredibly windy, right, which was it was tough to tell from the broadcast. Yeah, I think it was windy that night, and I think it was a bit windy too when we played OC. So if it is here, they're not conditions where we aren't used to. But as I said on the pod, windy soccer is the worst. Right. I think, if there is a style that needs to be played in the wind, ours is probably okay. We keep it on the deck a lot, but
we keep the ball on the pitch. So.
But it still makes it difficult to even score and make those final passes if it's windy enough. But I'm not seeing any indications that's really telling me it's overly windy in the stadium. I'm looking at like these tents and the trees around. Seb's gonna let go from distance and just over.
I'm glad to see that Seb is shooting more, because I do think that he's got that in his locker. I mean, obviously his first instinct is always to find his man and pass it, but for sure. But he finds himself in such good positions that it just makes sense for him to be shooting more, and that wasn't too bad of a shout. So.
No, good effort. Just not quite Didn't quite get the dip on it as Yuma looks to collect this one, plays it back to Logan, and El Paso look to build again. Decent control for an away match, I think, so far. A little less frantic than the opening stages of the game against Austin.
Yeah, definitely. There seems to be more measured passing from us, but they're pressing so high that it's putting us under pressure, but it's also leaving midfield wide open for them. So Chiro and Mishak are going to have a ball, just, putting those long passes through.
Yeah. Omar on the ball now. He's running. Looks to curl a shot here and just over. Seb and Omar with early sighters trying to find that range from that kind of left flank towards the center. But Omar again playing on the right and offering something off of his left foot.
Yeah, he's going up against Jome here, and he just cuts in on that favored left foot and lets one go, and it's just over the bar. I think he might just need to control the shot a bit more, but it is a joy to see Omar on the right side and cutting in on that favorite foot of his. So,
and terrorizing the fullbacks of the league again. I definitely think that of the guys playing on the wing in the West right now, he's probably one of the few that you definitely don't want to come up against.
Yeah, and he's just hard to deal with because not only is he fast, he's a big guy. I think he's 6'4".
Yeah.
So you don't expect that kind of pace and that kind of agility for someone of his size, as our stream kind of tracks back.
Ball played across. It might find Kiffy, but it's just dealt with in the end. It might be Yarrow out there on the right who dealt with that. Poor pass out from the back, and Sebastian's able to collect. Resend, a couple of step overs, that Joga Benito that we spoke about. Resend able to put a cross in. Seb from a tight angle deflected behind. It looks like it'll be a Locomotive corner just as the clock strikes 16 minutes. So nice little interchange there down the left.
Yeah, it looks like Kiffy has the permission from the coach to bomb down that left wing. Yuma's obviously not going to do that because he's not a natural right back, but it looks like Kiffy's going to be bombing up that left wing a lot with Resend coming inside, and hopefully that'll give us some offensive opportunities.
I'm enjoying that every single moment of the match is sponsored by somebody, as this is a Pikes Peak corner kick. Or Pikes Peak National Bank corner kick. It goes over. It's a little bit overhit by Seb there, and just kind of rescued by
those sideboards are a little
Richie
dangerous.
Ryan. Yeah, those are awful close to the pitch. Huh?
And that collapsed a little too easily for my liking. That's gonna be something to watch out for. We don't need any more injuries. I know we've been struggling a bit on that front.
Yes, absolutely. Switchbacks here, trying to play out from the back. Play it all the way back to the keeper. Clint Irwin. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Clint Irwin was he not playing with like Earthquakes?
That name sounds so familiar. And actually, it's funny that you say that because when I first saw the Switchbacks kits, I was like, oh, these are like Earthquake kits. So
I think I may be wrong, but I think Colorado Springs do have an affiliation with somebody. It's
I think aren't they affiliated
Malcolm
with Rapids?
cutting in. Yes. Yeah, they definitely are. Oh, maybe Clint Irwin came from Rapids.
Okay.
Not Switchbacks. As Ketterer with a good diving claim there, one-handed as Shin Yoshiki was racing in at the far post for that cross. A little bit of a dangerous move there for Switchbacks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm encouraged by the fact that we're not really letting them get too many opportunities actually in the box, but those crosses they're gonna keep fizzing in, and Ketterer's just gonna have to be alert to that throughout the game.
And Harry coming in with the assist here. Rapids is the affiliate, and Clint Irwin did come from the Rapids. So a little bit of a situation that we face against RGV, where they brought in their kind of ringer keeper from Dynamo.
Yeah, that must be nice.
But I'm not too, as a cross comes in, looked like a danger, headed away well. Salgado will collect. He's looking to put the moves on. I think he'll look to dish this back to Ryan. Kiffy's in space out on the left. He's calling for it. Can Kiffy find that right pass? I mean, I've been watching Andrew Robertson all day, so, I mean, I got a high standard for left backs. But can Kiffy deliver something that's deflected? played through. Kiffy stayed forward, curls a cross with his right foot just out of the reach of Kiesewetter. And now Resend and Salgado have switched flanks. Resend puts in a cross, little over hit there, and Locomotive aren't able to get on the end, and switchbacks coming the other way with it out from the back. Yarrow looking, good press there though, good win. Foul there on the edge of the area. Who said it was Jerome? He's so smart about winning fouls and using his body as a shield to keep that ball.
Yeah, I mean, some of the fouls that guys put on him are a little soft, but it never really does look like he's diving. So, as Christian would say, he's a professional when it comes to that. So.
Exactly. He feels the pressure on his back from Malcolm, and he does go down probably a little easily, but he wins a free kick in an extremely dangerous position, and it looks like, I'd assume Contreras and Mishak are the two over it.
Yeah, from this position, I think I'd want someone right-footed to maybe take this one. But
yeah.
Might be a Mishak bomb. Let's see.
This is close in for Mishak, but if he can get the right, Contreras takes it. No, it was actually Omar, I think, who took that one, and he hits it high and over the bar.
Too much power on that one, I think. It just flashes over the bar.
Yeah, I really feel like I have to take this opportunity to say that I know that the club likely got the light blue kits kind of just in time for the match.
Right.
But yeah, they've got to go with navy letters on this one. The white is just, it's impossible to see.
Yeah, I don't know who made that decision, but it was not the right one.
Yeah, it's because I genuinely love the gold the gold typeface on the home kit, on the navy home kit.
Yeah,
but
that
this is
super slick.
Yeah, cross into the box, and it looked like Seb trying to get a flick on. It's just dealt with by Colorado, and they're breaking the other way. Malcolm trying to get on the end of that. Crunching tackle from Richie Ryan, and a good one out for a switchbacks throw. Really well done to break up the counter and not give away a foul also.
Yeah, Richie looks like he's up for this one, and that was a very, very good tackle. Don't think it calls a foul. I think it was totally on the ball. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I think. All ball. I mean, the follow-through catches him, obviously, but nothing. Definitely not a foul, and really well done from Richie there. You just see kind of what he brings in that number 6 position, because despite the fact he's the wily old veteran, he also still has a step and a crunching tackle in him, too.
Definitely, and I mean, he played in the League of Ireland, which is a physical league, depending on the team. So. Yeah.
Switchbacks, though, still on the ball and able to get a cross in here, headed away. Mishak Jerome, I mean, you used the word imperious during the episode last week. Mishak has just been such an important part of this team all season, and showing it again there. Header here coming in over the bar. Ketterer lets it go, and I think that came in from Seth. Their number 10 playing up top, but he's just not able to get the right direction, get on top of that header, and put it towards goal.
Yeah, I'm encouraged by what I see throughout these first 20 minutes. We haven't really let switchbacks have a lot of good chances, and in fact, I think the crosses into the box are good for Ketterer because he gets warmed up and he's got something to do back there. I think he can expect that play style for the rest of the match because we're not really letting them anywhere near our box.
Another foul. It's Kiesewetter drawing it again, and Jack giving it away. He's just an intelligent player. He's going to earn a lot of fouls. I know we joked that his first touches of the ball, his first 2 matches earned fouls, but it is a part of his game and something that can be extremely frustrating for defenders to have to deal with.
Yeah, definitely, because not only does that allow us to get, hopefully favorable positions for dead ball situations, but it also stops play and doesn't let the opposition get into their groove.
Ryan with another good win of the ball there, and just something that Ross playing a really good ball through here for Kiesewetter. He's got Resend running infield, but opts for a ball out to Kiffy. Kiffy floats in the cross, headed away, and it may just end up behind. I think Yeah, it's definitely a corner.
That look behind it. Yeah.
Clint Irwin, the wily, as we talk about wily old veterans, Clint Irwin, he's been in MLS for quite a while, and that might work on pro referees, but luckily it didn't work on the USL refs.
Apparently, this is the Colorado Computer Support corner. Literally every phase of play in this game is sponsored. It's almost Pikes Peak National Bank corner kick. Excuse me.
I love
Sorry.
it.
I got
And
the
they even
wrong
have
sponsor.
they even have the advertising boards in the corner for Pikes Peak National Bank.
Oh my
so
goodness, they do.
This is brand synergy at its finest. Ball comes in. It's a little dangerous, but Colorado Springs deal with it.
I'm not even surprised. Ooh.
Mishak with a rough tackle there. This may come back. I'm not sure if he's going to be booked for that. Yeah.
It's Jack.
He took a risk. He flew in. Jack's down injured for Colorado Springs. Mishak was trying to break up that counterattack for Colorado Springs, and the trainer will actually come out. I'm not sure they can have too many complaints because Mishak is booked for this. He breaks up the counter. He's late, but it's not necessarily high. It's not necessarily malicious. He does fly in, but not. I mean, a yellow is the right decision there, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Jack just does well to touch the ball away from Mishak as he's coming in for the challenge. We hope he's okay. He's still... It's an Ortho Centura nod to the doc. Okay.
Even the physios on the field, they're sponsoring.
I feel like potential injury situations should not be sponsored, but
wow,
that's just me.
That is.
And I was going to say earlier, I'm not surprised because Switchback
and
is affiliated with Rapids, who are owned by Stan Kroenke.
Right.
So
you're used to the commercialization of every moment. Yeah.
Exactly.
And we also have a Hanson Hot Springs yellow card, so there is, and Harry, I get your point. Is Switchbacks have ads for everything because it's a small market. I get that. Oh, we have a USL typos #USL typos yellow card player name.
Is that what it said?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it.
No, that's a good one.
Yeah, player name's been in good form, so he needs to.
Yeah, he needs to be careful.
He needs to be careful because we need him.
And Christian, welcome to the chat as well. It's nice to have you. Obviously, we'd rather have you on this side of the mic.
Definitely.
But,
hey, Christian.
But hope you're enjoying. I know you have prior engagements, so there's a little bit of a break here as it looks like I guess Jack isn't going to be able to continue. I did see him tapping his shoulder. Which it makes it seem like it wasn't actually the foul itself, but the way he actually fell, the way he hit the ground was more the issue.
Right, because like we said, the foul wasn't really high. It wasn't like studs right into his thigh or anything, but he does look like he's struggling.
And Sam Rabin looks set to come on. He is also with the Rapids. So this is Jamal Jack off, Sam Rabin on for Colorado Springs. So another slight benefit, but it does look like the
Gold's Gym substitution.
I can't. So it does look like Jamal Jack is favoring that shoulder, and it.
Yeah, you can clearly see Mishak trying to go for the ball. It's just the follow through.
Yeah.
It's late. You see that all the time in football, don't you?
It's a clear yellow for sure, but I think the refs got it spot on. It is obviously unfortunate that Jack's been hurt in the process, but as Adrian Ordonez, Adrian from the El Paso Reds group, starts the Loco chant in the chat. Big fan of that. So
now Seth is down.
Seth down. I think he's trying to draw a foul here.
Mishak is like, dude, you're fine.
Yeah, Yuma and Mishak nonplussed by the.
Yeah, do we worry now that Switchbacks attackers are gonna target Mishak, try to get him sent off? Is that even in? Is that a USL tactic? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
I'm sure it is. It's probably in the back of their minds that we have a center back on a yellow just half an hour in. Resend trying to skill past some attackers just kind of miss controls and it's out for a switchback's throw. But it is difficult playing this long as a center back with that yellow card hanging over your head.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because you just think about every move you're going to make once you've been booked. And with Mishak, it's better when he gets to play his kind of free-flow style. So he's got to manage that from this point forward.
I think it does put a little bit of pressure on Yuma and Chiro, obviously being either side of him, because there are going to be situations where they're going to have to help him out where, if he's not on a yellow, he might be able to commit as he did on that counterattack, and now he's not going to be able to step up in those situations quite as aggressively.
Right.
Locomotive, again, enjoying some decent possession, but I think it's been a little bit since we've created anything of note. Definitely a decent opening 15. The last 10 minutes have been a little slower, but Locomotive looking to get forward here through James Kiffey. Nice little 1-2 with Seb. Contreras chips it to the back post. I think he may have been going for the chip there, like on goal.
It looked like he was trying to take it on goal because no one was really making that far post run necessarily. It also looks like we're passing a lot faster. I don't know that that's actually because we want to do that or because switchbacks are really pressing hard and forcing us to up the tempo a little bit. Let's see how we deal with that down the stretch as we kind of reach the 31st minute mark.
They're focusing a lot on Seb in this broadcast, which is interesting. I can't help but feel that my conversation with the commentator for Austin has led to a USL-wide appreciation for Seb Contreras.
I mean, he's that typical Argentine playmaker, isn't he? He's so technical, and the vision is on point. I mean, everyone knows I like to call him El Mago. He's a magician.
And switchbacks back on the ball. It's Malcolm with a nice little move to hold possession. We're across the half-hour mark here in the first half. Still 0-0 for those tuning in. Cross into the box. A little rash from Kiffey, but Chiro's able to get it clear. Kind of a strange challenge.
Yeah, once again, switchbacks are relying on crosses and high balls into the box. We're not letting them really get into the box for chances, but again,
just over. Another dangerous chance there for Colorado Springs, and it was that man.
Jordan Burt.
Jordan Burt.
The left back with the mustache that I hate.
A mustache that will haunt your nightmares with the header. If I'm being harsh, he probably should put that on target from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a free header. Mishak wasn't really tracking that run too much. I think actually Burt is playing at left mid-winger today. I mean, he does have 3 goals, so why not?
Yeah, he is.
I think he's a right back, actually. I don't know. Maybe Switchbacks fans in the chat, if there are any, can correct me. But I know he's a defender by trade.
He's got 3 goals here in the early stages of the season and is the Switchbacks' leading scorer. As they're bursting forward here, it'll come to Seth, rolls it back through, and Yuma does well to track back, eventually get back. I think it was Richie Ryan with a kind of a tough tackle as lashed from distance well over the bar, luckily, and the pressure is once again relieved on Locomotive.
Yeah, once again, Joe number 3 getting involved. It seems like he wants to be involved in every phase of play for his club. Again, it's really strange that they rely so much on their fullbacks for creativity and for goal scoring, but whatever works at this level, right?
Yeah, it's you take it where you can get it, certainly.
Exactly.
Ketterer looks long for this one. Kiesewetter looking to run onto it. Couldn't quite get to it. It's headed away. Switchbacks really growing into things late in this first half as we enter kind of the last 15 minutes. And ball chipped through in behind Kiffey for Malcolm to run onto, and really well done from Ntoko there to win that goal kick. That was...
Yeah, we've seen this a lot in the early going, that Kiffey pushes up, and sometimes he's not quick enough to get back, and Chiro's kind of got to clean it up. And I think that Chiro's going to be even more important when you have Kiffey and Resend on the same wing, because, both of them are looking to push up. So I think that's something that maybe Mark might want to address at halftime and to keep an eye on in the second half.
Hashtag USL typos again. We apparently beat Orange County 12-0.
Did we now?
That would have been a remarkable result. Here I was thinking that we had just a professional 2-0 win. Turns out we blew them out.
Well, then I totally need to apologize then to all the hot take merchants who said, why aren't we starting Partita?
Yeah.
I thought he scored 2 goals, but he scored 12.
He scored 12 goals.
I'm
so
sorry. I take back everything I said.
That is, wow. It's a shame he can't get into the team after a 12-goal performance, but out there for a throw. Switchbacks able to get back on the ball once again. Approaching the 34-minute mark, and it's been an interesting half, kind of back and forth. Both teams kind of creating half chances at both sides.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really impressed by Switchback's press. Again, we're coming to a place where it's so high up in altitude that it might be hard to hang with these guys down the stretch. I'm really impressed by their fitness, but we are keeping the ball on the ground and playing our game at a higher tempo, so I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged by what I've seen. Ball
comes out to Yuma here. I mean, the player that I've noticed the most, in kind of all phases is just Richie Ryan. Honestly,
Absolutely.
he's been everywhere, which is as Kiffy bursting forward here. Resend has stayed out wide. Resend with a low cross blocked off and out. It should be a Locomotive throw, I believe, and it is for Resend. But Richie Ryan has really been everywhere in this first half.
Yeah, defensively he's been breaking plays up, and he's just really he's a calming influence in midfield too when he's in possession. So he really gives you everything, and he certainly is doing that in this performance.
Ryan on the ball here, opts for the simple back pass to Mishak, and he finds Kiffy out on the wing. Resend has held his run. Looks like he'll get in behind, and he's looking for that pass infield to Contreras. Contreras now for a cross to the back post. Salgado is arriving just a little late to get on the end of that one. He does collect it, and he'll opt to play it back to Yuma, who's moved up in support of the attack.
Yeah, we've seen Resend get down that left wing quite a bit, and none of the defenders are getting really close to any of the players except for Jome.
Sent through, and it was actually Resend on the end of that one. He does force the save, I think, from Clint Irwin.
Did he tip it over?
I think he tipped it, and it will be a Locomotive Pikes Peak National Bank corner
kick.
No, it's Resend with a shot from a tough angle, but he does well to put it on goal, and Clint Irwin has to deal with it.
Yeah, it's not a great finish, but at this point in the game, you just want to make sure you're working the keeper. And giving him something to do. But, like I was saying earlier, these defenders on this left wing are not getting close enough to their man. It seems like Jome's the only one who's really man-marking. So we might find Joy down this wing, and that is a terrible angle.
Mishak from distance deflected away. Oh, man.
The camera work is a little sus, I have to say. That was a terrible angle for that corner.
Yeah, that was not ideal, but it did come to Mishak in the end. Locomotive keeping the pressure up. Resend looking for the 1-2 with Kiffy, but it's cut out. And Switchbacks looking to play out. They beat Loco's press, and they're running through the center. Play it out wide. It looks like Seth out wide. He's dropped out to the left. Looks for Jome on the overlap, and I think it'll be a goal kick on this one. Oh, he's given the corner. I thought it came off Jome last, but I could be wrong. It was deflected by Omar tracking back, and Shin Yoshiki will be over to take this corner kick for Colorado Springs. Yeah, something interesting, something I don't really put a ton of stock into, now at this point in the season because it is still so early. But given our current position in the table with games in hand, a win would take us to 6th.
And that's just ridiculous.
From 15th.
Right. 2 games ago we were in the basement. Then we won and moved up to the garden level apartment. 6 would basically be the suite.
Right. And a couple of players go over, and he's given a free kick here against Nick Ross. And a yellow card.
Are you joking? Wow. That's a yellow. That's a yellow. Let's see the replay because
I'm shocked. I didn't see a lot wrong. It looked like kind of a coming together between two players. I mean, unless he's got a hold of him.
Okay, he might have had his hands on his shoulders, which I've seen that given, but it's just
it's a strange yellow to give.
Yeah.
I think the booking is extremely odd.
I think it's a bit harsh. Okay, then. Well,
so Nick Ross has been booked.
So that's 2 players booked now for us. So if this is Colorado's game plan, it is working.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I think we've probably had 2 yellow cards in a match ever.
Yeah, I mean we're not a dirty team.
We don't get that many bookings. No, so this is
pretty disciplined. We're not New Mexico United. The banter starts now. Yes. By the way, I know we've got this game on, and we got to focus on this first.
Oh, hate New Mexico! New Mexico Hate Week has begun, and it's totally. Well over a week. It's over a week in advance. So.
By the way, guys, in the comments, what would you call our derby? I mean, I don't want to call it like Rio Grande. That's so basic.
Yeah. Like we have a team called Rio Grande Valley already.
Exactly.
Like we can't.
I want to know what you guys would call our derby. I was thinking the High Desert Derby.
Shot here comes in from Jome. Wall does its job. It's deflected out. I think High Desert. I mean, I'd say there's plenty of options.
We've got some creative people in the Locomotive fan base, so I'll look out for that on social media.
Harry's commenting on our we're not a dirty team because he said the preseason friendly against SAFC says otherwise.
Okay.
That was a chippy game. Oh, ball in towards the center, and it was Seth just not quick enough to get on the end of it, and that was a dangerous ball in from switchbacks, but in the end it's out for a goal kick.
It looks like Mishak's got that yellow card on his mind. He's not as close to his man as you might expect him to be. That's twice now someone's gotten behind him, kind of running off his shoulder. Something to keep an eye on, definitely, for Locomotive.
It was Argueta, I guess, getting that ball in. The number 6 playing a nice cross. Adrian points to Richie Ryan. The Irish Fabinho? Question mark. I don't know. I don't think he's big enough to be the Irish Fabinho.
I think if anything, he's more like the Irish Casemiro or something.
Yeah, he's pretty. he's not the biggest guy, so I wouldn't call him a Busquets or a Fabinho type because he just doesn't have the limbs. But maybe I guess as far as number 6s go, maybe even a Guendouzi, to use an Arsenal reference,
Hey, yeah, that's not a bad one. He's not quite got the hair.
No, needs to step his game up if he wants to be the loco, the Irish Guendouzi. But shots here now of Jamal Jack with ice on his shoulder. I mean, to me, it's probably
he's
not
got his arm in a sling.
Yeah, it's probably not a dissimilar injury to Mo Salah in the Champions League final last season. Probably a dislocated shoulder if I had to guess.
I despise Sergio Ramos, but anyway,
I think we all do. But yeah, hit us with the rivalry name suggestions. I think it'll be it will be such a great game when the teams do come together, because a couple of good teams, really good reverse ball through Resend onto the end of it, cross in towards the center, Jerome trying to turn, just kind of pulled down and nothing given there. Will it bounce? Nothing given again as the ref just waves play on for all this contact occurring, and Yuma eventually puts it out for a Colorado Springs throw. I'd have to see how much holding was going on in the box on Jerome to see if there was anything in that.
Yeah, it looks like he just kind of bundled over with his defender. Resend is just getting so much space down that left flank. I mean, this is not sustainable for switchbacks in the long run.
Weak header away too, and Resend putting the pressure on. I think we just have to, as we've said for pretty much every attacker for Locomotive this entire season, Resend's final ball, that end product just has to improve in the decision making, as this ball comes underneath the bar for Logan Ketterer to deal with. Luckily, able to squint enough to see through the sun to be able to catch that Josh Yarrow cross.
Yeah, he's done surprisingly well on these aerial balls. This is one of the things about keepers that always makes me nervous is how they do on crosses. You know, obviously I'm an Arsenal fan, and seeing Bernd Leno come for a cross is like fucking terrifying. So,
Simon Mignolet was once Liverpool's number one. That's I feel your pain.
Yeah, but no, he's done well. He's done well in this early showing, and I don't want to hear anyone say let's start Forder. Just stop with that.
Yeah, and it's nothing against Jermaine at all.
No,
I just really bad back pass here from Yuma, but just enough purchase on it to get to Logan, who actually plays a really good ball to Resend. I think Seb thought he was offside, but well won in the end. Is that Nick No, it's actually James Kiffey who's ventured all the way over to the right, but now Omar in possession, and it's another case of, I mean, one mistake kind of leading to a promising Locomotive possession just because of where they're winning the ball back in that immediate stage after giving it away.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not sure if that was just miscommunication or someone just switched off for a minute, but I mean, when we're not making mistakes, we're totally in control. I mean,
Kiffey onto another. It was a rough pass from Seb, but Kiffey won it back immediately, and I guess everybody just kind of bailing each other out at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Kiffey's, as you can see on the screen right now, Kiffey's pushed so far up that it kind of looks like we're ostensibly playing like a back three.
Yeah.
But
Omar passed a couple of players, drops it off to Ryan with nice little turn to avoid the press, and they'll kind of reset play back to Chiro. A lot of space kind of opening up here. It looks like Colorado Springs are kind of pinned back, just trying to see out the end of the half.
Yeah, everyone's pretty much behind the ball for Colorado Springs, and all of our attacking play is really starting down the wings here. So
a little shoulder to shoulder there, and giving away. Kiffey pressing all the way up the field. He's on the edge of the penalty area for Colorado Springs, but they're able to break out, and it's Malcolm running down this right-hand side. Plays it infield. Seth's dropped out to the left again. Yuma's tracking him. It looks like he's eyeing up a shot from distance. Opts for the pass across. Chiro does well initially. Ball comes through. Mishak with his classic kind of improvised clearance of the flicked out leg, but it comes out to Yarrow, who will put in a cross towards the center. Ketterer punches away. That was extremely dangerous for Colorado Springs, and now they're putting the pressure on as we're into stoppage time here at the end of the first half. Back out to Yarrow. He'll put in another cross. He's been dangerous, but he's overhit this one. Just left it in the oven a little too long, and it's overcooked and out for a goal kick, and the pressure's relieved as we enter the second of 2 minutes of stoppage time.
They've really made Ketterer work a lot in this first half. I think that's, 3 or 4 times now he's had to deal with a pretty dodgy crossing situation. So ups to Logan for that.
We've got a shout from Adrian for the Camino Real Derby.
I've heard that one too, but I don't know. Is it too New Mexico centric? Because some guys from the Curse they suggested something like that. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I'm just wondering what the history.
I'm a fan of that one just because I mean the Camino Real. The Royal Road for New Spain, back in the day.
Yeah.
It started in Mexico City and went all the way up to like San Francisco.
Okay.
Up through El Paso, through like Albuquerque, Santa Fe. Well, what is now Albuquerque? I don't think Albuquerque existed back then.
Right.
Omar running through a bunch of bodies. He's got a shot here at the end of the half, blocked away. And now Omar, he was brought down. He's kind of shouting for a foul there, and I think in the end it's going to be Kiffey who...
Don't tell me he's giving another
and,
card.
Yep, Kiffey's booked.
Oh, my goodness. That's 3 bookings now in the first half.
That's basically... And, I mean, honestly, for the only one that wasn't basically their first foul of the game was Mishak, or, that was justified was Mishak, but the rest of them have basically been the first fouls of the game for each player. As a shot comes in, it's weak and into the arms of Ketterer.
Yeah, and that's kind of... I guess that's kind of the thing that you have to come to expect in the USL Championship is the refereeing is the standard. It varies from match to match. I mean, I feel like last time out against Reno, the ref was really letting a lot of things go, and
yeah.
In this one, it's like first foul is a card, And that's pretty much it.
We've
I mean, James did get his arm around the guy, but I would have gone with a warning there. I mean, it's midfield trying to break up the counterattack. It's unfortunate.
he's got a very strict interpretation of breaking up a counter as being a yellow. But it is halftime. It's 0-0. Still, chances created at both ends. So this game is still wide open. I'd say it's different from the Austin match in that respect, where we got to halftime and we're like, well, I don't know where a goal is coming from.
Yeah. Against Austin, it kind of felt like we were just canceling each other out. Here, you can clearly see kind of what each team's trying to do. Switchbacks look like they're going to be just hoping for good dead ball situations, which they've got 3 cards from us now, and a lot of high crosses for Ketterer to deal with. I think we just need to continue playing our game, keeping the ball on the floor and moving it intelligently.
We are going to take a quick break for halftime. We'll be back for the second half, and I hope you guys will stick with us, but we'll talk to you soon.
Cool. See you in a bit. Man, 3 we on?
Yeah.
Hey guys, Phil's getting me a beer. Sorry for the delay. Well, obviously we need our beverages first as we score.
What?
Yes!
Oh!
Jerome with the first goal
Let's go!
of his Locomotive career. Let's go. What a way to start the second half.
That's what I'm talking
All
about.
right.
Wow, 35 seconds or 28 seconds or something
Yeah.
like that into the second half.
Oh my god, please make a meme of the goalkeeper. He's like, have you seen that meme where the chick's like on her knees and she's like,
oh yes,
that's exactly how he looks. Like wondering how the goal
went. Oh man, Kiesewetter does 2 defenders and then Megs the keeper en route to his first Locomotive goal.
That calls for another beer for sure.
Yeah.
That's
a Meg
really good.
and then a Meg. That is.
We said it. We were like, his first goal is gonna be a piss take.
Yep. Absolute madness. And Locomotive lead in Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs trying to respond quickly.
Keeper was literally like, how Sway?
Oh, that is awesome. Jerome opens his account. That
That's
is
awesome.
just exactly what everybody was looking forward to.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. Hope you guys are all having a cold one too.
Locomotive back to defend a corner here, and this is now an accelerated wealth corner kick. So there are two.
And you know what's
sponsors.
funny about these sponsors is they're not even like, chill sponsors. They're like in your face corporate shit. Accelerated wealth.
Banks, wealth management. Ooh, missed header at the near post, but luckily it missed everybody else at the far post as well. I guess they said Locomotive got a touch on that, but
okay then.
not so sure.
What a way to start the second half.
Yeah, that was. Jerome got up the field and immediately.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is our first away goal ever. Is it not?
It is, yeah. Yeah, we've just played the 2 games and they both ended 0-0. So, yeah, first away goal in Locomotive history. And what a time and what a way to score it and for Jerome to get off the mark.
Definitely. It's an individual effort, too. I mean, he just destroys 2 guys on the way to goal, and the keeper's left wondering what the hell just happened.
Fernie,
Erwin's like, fuck this. I'm going
Fernie
back
in
to
the
MLS.
chat, we scored 3 question marks. And yes, we did. Fernie, you've got to watch it back. He absolutely just destroys 2 defenders and the keeper en route to a goal. Absolutely brilliant from Jerome and kind of what we've been waiting for and what we knew he had the ability to do.
Definitely. I mean, it's the proverbial monkey off his back, right? I mean, getting your first goal is just so big for your confidence, and he's played well up until this point. Now that he's scored, I mean, we might just have seen him, unleash the floodgates, if you will. It might come really hard on this next half for Switchbacks. I think he could get another one.
Goal kick now for Locomotive. Austin in the chat. And obviously, again, Austin, wish you were on this side of the mic. Austin hard at work in his second day job, basically, with his production company. Just always grinding out there.
Always.
And and Austin saying we have to wear these kits all the time now.
That's all that was missing. The sky blues. Eureka.
Colorado Springs looking to get something started. Good pressure there from Ross and Ryan to squeeze him out, but back on the ball, and Seth there trying to switch play back. Long ball out to the right. Little bit of trouble for Josh Yarrow to bring that under control. Josh Yarrow, if I'm not mistaken, was a first overall draft pick for Colorado Rapids in the MLS Super Draft. And, I mean, you can kind of see just the draft. He's still toiling in USL and not up with the Rapids, but really good ball through. Kiesewetter again. He's feeling it now. Rezen falls to Ryan at the edge of the area. Or no, it was Seb. My mistake. Seb at the edge of the area who hits it straight at the keeper as we hit that 50-minute mark. Powerful shot from Seb, and Kiesewetter is showing a lot of confidence there.
Jerome kind of looked like he couldn't believe that Rezen couldn't do something with that pass, but it was just too close to the defender.
This is and yes, Adrian, it was it was Kiesewetter, the German American dude, as you put it. He has opened his account for Locomotive, and what a moment! Like, genuinely, such a great moment, and hopefully we can watch it under good circumstances. But
Kiffy gets done there, doesn't he?
Good block in the end by Chiro. Unorthodox, used his back to block that cross in. And again, it's just there are a couple of nervy moments here and there defensively for Locomotive, but overall, I mean, the play is mostly, as we saw from the halftime stats, with Locomotive sitting right at 65% possession, controlling the game much as they would like to.
Yeah, possession's the name of the game. I think Mark will probably be pleased to see that we had 65% possession, and it looks like we're going to continue to keep the ball on the ground and just weather the crosses from switchbacks. And looks like when we're defending, we're kind of using, that traditional 2 banks of 4. I think the fullbacks need to get closer to their wingers and prevent those crosses coming in and direct the play.
Well done from Yuma there to stop that supply in to the switchbacks attackers. And now, again, Locomotive looking to play out from the back. Good ball. Omar, who's dropped centrally, he's running at his defenders. Never a sight you want to see as a USL defender, and he is fouled in the end. It's well done from Omar. Good run.
I noticed that Omar, he gets fouled a lot, but he rarely draws cards. I think it's because he doesn't complain that much. He kind of just gets on with it. He's real professional in that way.
Yeah, he. I think I will say the one time he did appeal for a card. I think in the last match against Reno, I believe Omar was brought down pretty heavily, and it did actually hold up his hand for the card, which is rare to see. But
yeah.
But no, he's definitely. He's been, I think Omar maybe doesn't as, you hear the sharp intake of breath from Mika as Logan plays out a ball up the middle.
Logan playing sweeper keeper.
It was an accurate pass, but switchbacks winning possession back before Chiro getting involved in the
is that not a foul?
In the defense, I think again.
Looked like
Ross there with a smart play to get in front of the defender, Shinyashiki, and then win that free kick. Just kind of slow things down a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like Shinyashiki got maybe the back of his ankle.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of steps on the back of his foot. Locomotive able to restart things, but it is I think something that Omar's switchbacks press paying off here, but inaccurate pass in the end. Locomotive getting a little lucky with the a little sloppier play out from the back than what we've seen.
Yeah, Calvin's really good with his movement, but he needs to probably work on not getting caught in possession so
He's
much.
played a great ball through though for Jerome. Jerome low. Clint Irwin with the save. Oh, Jerome with a great. It was a great opportunity to add his second. And he just didn't quite place the shot where it needed to be. Resend, just as we were talking about, plays a brilliant ball over the top and nearly puts Jerome through for his second.
Yeah, and you can see Jerome put his thumb up. He was happy with the service there and just frustrated with himself. He's feeling it now. I would not be shocked if he scores another.
Yeah, that confidence is definitely up as Nick Ross plays it in for Seb. Seb dancing away. Nick Ross with that late run in. Drops it off. Richie Ryan on the edge of the area. Looks across. It's Kiffy on the edge of the area. Looks to shape for a shot. Opts for the pass into the feet of Kiesewetter. Lays it off for Kiffy. Kiffy with the curled shot. It's off the post. It comes to Kiffy again. And he can't get his shot away. But can he now? It falls. Oh my God. It's madness in front of goal.
How
has it stayed out?
That was like 4 shots, point blank.
That is absurd. Resend now lays it off. Oh, that looked destined to be the second. I can't describe what's what's been happening. For those of you just on audio, I apologize. RIP headphone users, and also
yeah, I'm sorry about the inaudible shrieking, but that was just way too much.
That was absurd. Yuma with a good win there to stop Switchback's counterattack. But when I tell you that the ball was at the goal line of Switchbacks no less than 3 to 4 times, it was impossible to accurately describe what was happening because there was just so much pinball going on. Omar's done his defender here. He's rolled it through for Kiesewetter for a second.
Go!
Let's go. What a move.
Kiesewetter with the brace.
Omar and Jerome linking up, and Kiesewetter has 2 goals just as we hit the 55-minute mark. Locomotive with a brilliant opening to the second half. And that goal was all Omar and a good finish from Jerome.
Wow. Here we go.
That ball through from Omar, the brilliant reverse ball, and just a simple low finish from Kiesewetter. I mean,
the diagonal run is just perfect.
It's exactly what we've been talking about. Just we said that Kiesewetter would thrive if he had the right service, and we see here he's got 2 goals to his name already.
That's right, and as Omar told us on the pod a few episodes ago, I think it was episode 6, he and Jerome have played together in U.S. camps. So glad to see that chemistry is building also for Locomotive.
This is now with a 2-0 lead. Locomotive will need to turn this into a professional performance. But we've seen now here early in the second half that the opportunities are going to be there for their attackers as Mishak gets his head to a cross in from the right. But I mean, I don't think there's any reason to believe that we won't have opportunities for a third, fourth, etc. As the second half wears on.
Yeah, I mean, especially now that we're 2-0 up, Switchbacks are going to be forced to attack more, and that might just open up the space for us. And, I mean, honestly, I think that we have more quality on the ball than they do. So 3, 4, 5, I don't know. We'll see. I think we can at least get one more. But, I wouldn't be surprised if we just try to keep the ball on the ground and manage this game. They don't look impressed whatsoever.
This is the fan of the game. I don't know which one of them. I hope it's the guy in the Hilfiger shirt just destroying some nachos. But credit, I mean, Switchbacks, honestly, for the stadium they had, not the best turnout, but a pretty decent turnout.
It's not bad.
It's not the worst we've seen.
There's not a stand that's completely empty. There's people sitting everywhere. So shout out to them for having some decent turnout. Can we talk about the fact that Kiesvetter's hold-up play on that last chance was excellent? I mean, usually you see him just run in, but he did hold it up for a bit and keep the ball moving. I like to see that.
Yeah, this is So Fernie now says if Locos get 3, Phil and Mika have to do a chest bump.
I'm too short for that.
Yeah, I don't think
we'll settle for a high five.
Yeah.
Oh man, Richie Ryan kind of takes Shinyashiki out there.
Was it?
I don't think.
What
Richie
a surprise. Richie Ryan booked now 4 yellow cards, and that is really the only thing kind of hanging over El Paso right now with a 2-goal lead. As this free kick comes in, it's easy for Ketterer to deal with.
Fair play to Jome. He does get these dead ball situations on target, but they're just not. They're not high enough. They're not, curling enough for it to cause any real trouble for Logan. So.
Yeah, they don't.
I hope I'm saying his name right. Jome? I'm not sure, to be honest. We don't have a pronunciation guide in USL, so.
Luckily, I don't think the announcers do either. So I think we're basically at the same standard as them. I think the only people who get their names accurately pronounced are the home team.
Right.
When the broadcasters have access to them, week in and week out. But Locomotive looking to build another attack here. It's out wide to Omar. Omar running at Jome, crosses with his right foot and be out for a corner. And it's looking like there's a substitution to be made right as we hit the hour mark. And it is going to be, let me consult my guide here. Was it 7 on? So it would be Alex Milano on for Ibrahim Yarrow. Oh, I thought it was Josh Yarrow this whole time. I thought it was a J. It's Ibrahim Yarrow, so it's not Josh Yarrow.
Just USL things.
Not the former #1 draft pick
Gold's
at
Gym
all.
Substitution.
Yeah, so Milano on, and Locomotive opt for the short corner. Eventually Contreras puts it into the box, headed away pretty easily. Everybody was waiting at the far post. He kind of put it in towards the penalty spot.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it was pretty much like 3 guys at the far post. I don't think the plan was to go near post there on a short corner, but we keep the ball, so.
Yeah, good signs here in this first 15 of the second half. Yeah,
as Erica emerges,
guest cameo from
like, why are they shrieking?
Guest cameo from my wife. Although I'm sure she was probably hoping for a similar performance when she was at the match against Reno last week.
I know.
Kiesewetter coming close on a couple of occasions, but he's redeemed himself in this one because we got the 3 points there, even though he missed a big chance, and now he's put away a couple of not as straightforward chances.
Yeah, definitely. He both goals he got to show his quality, and it was just, I mean, the first one he does 2 defenders, the second one is just a perfect diagonal run.
Yeah. Yeah, we had talked about like his movement being one of the things that we noticed in the first couple of matches, and
right.
We said the rest would come, and I mean, so far it had always been that final pass just not quite being there and not quite kind of landing, and you know, his first goal is just a great individual effort. His second, clearly that relationship with Omar is being built back up.
Yeah, and you'd have to think that that's something that they worked on the pitch is look, I'm going to make this diagonal run, especially now that Omar's on the right wing. He can use that left foot to kind of play him in maybe easier than he would if he was on his left, where he'd be inclined to cross. So, yeah, I think keeping the ball on the ground and trying to play it into Jerome is probably a better idea than going for, the high looping crosses that really haven't done much for us in terms of goal scoring. So
we saw Omar's passing capabilities
right.
On display last week. That ball through to Ross was ridiculous, and I mean, again here he does pick out, in this case, the perfect pass for that run. Knew exactly what Jerome was going to do and puts it on a plate for that nice low finish. As Seb nearly pulls off the nutmeg, I think.
That was a nice tackle, though.
Yeah.
To get the ball back.
It was, and a foul in the end called against Locomotive. And now, oh my God, get out. Rezen's been booked for kicking the ball away on the free kick, but that is just normal.
So that's what, 5 cards now?
Stuff. That is 5 bookings now for Locomotive. I mean, 7, you're starting to talk about the FA, failure to control players
exactly.
and stuff like that.
Wow.
But nothing is. This is. This is absurd. The bookings are getting out of control.
I don't ever want to call into question a ref's integrity, but this is just.
It's 5-0. That's the real issue.
Yeah.
Because I mean.
Well, and again, Phil, you and I had talked about at halftime, when you see our possession stats and then you see the yellow cards we have, it's like you would think that the team with less of the ball would be putting the foot in and lunging. And
right.
2 or 3 out of the 5 yellow cards we have now were fair enough, but this is just.
Yeah, I think
there are a lot of soft calls.
The Mishak one is the one I definitely agree with. The Kiffy one is borderline.
Mm-hmm.
But the Ross and the Ross one, that one, just I
okay,
really
so this
don't.
surely is a card.
This is a
right?
card. Okay.
Hey! That's gotta be.
Colorado Springs with their first booking of the day. It's Schweitzer. Well, probably Schweitzer because he's probably just a normal American white dude, but yeah, okay. So rightly booked.
Look at us being all cultured. Schweitzer.
Schweitzer. Well, I mean, I grew up in the soccer world of Schweinsteiger
exactly.
and the like. So Kiesevetter's, not too difficult after that. It is a free kick here for Locomotive. 65 minutes gone, and it was a booking as well. Mishak's over it,
Mishak
which
going for
suggests
it.
that we're not passing from this free kick. This is not going to be a floated ball into the center. And he blazes over. Didn't put the power behind it that he normally does. He kind of looked to curl that one.
Yeah, and he was kind of like stood off from the ball. Usually he kind of faces it head on and tries to get just the dip on it. But
yeah, I'd kind of like to see him just run up on that one and try to put it kind of in the inside that far post with low and with power.
Right. It's just a matter of time before he scores an absolute banger. I mean,
yeah, he had a shot from distance in this match, which was blocked from open play.
Right.
And you can just tell. I mean, the guy can just absolutely leather the ball. And one of these times he's going to beat a keeper just for power.
I've always wondered how that is, where like a defender is a set piece specialist. How does that come to be? Do they just do you know what I mean? Like, do they just practice that in training and it just becomes a thing, or like
well,
I've always wondered about that.
With him making, most of his he plays for the Haiti national team, so I feel like it's a decidedly like CONCACAF thing to happen. Like it's just like it's like, well, I know I can kick the ball really hard, and this could make the difference in some of our matches where, I mean, generally speaking, Haiti's not winning too many games against the likes of...
They're not a powerhouse in
right.
CONCACAF or in world football by any means. But it is cool that we have an international, I will say that. Yeah, it looks like everyone's trying to get forward for switchbacks and make something happen.
Yeah. It'll be interesting here as we enter kind of the later stages, the last 20 minutes. It'll be interesting to see what, if any, changes Mark makes as Mishak improvises another clearance there to get Locomotive out of trouble. But it'll be interesting to see if there's any changes that Mark wants to make to kind of maybe lock down the match and kind of keep it less, slow things down and see things out.
What changes would you make, Phil, if any?
I mean, I would say, as far as guys on the bench, we don't have a ton of guys who know chill. We have a bunch of guys who you throw on looking for a goal.
Right. Which is
the
usually the
Partidas,
situation
Castellanos,
that we're in, right?
Exactly, and that's what we've normally found ourselves.
Actually, now that you think about it, I might throw Josh on there maybe for
Yeah.
Because Josh, remember, he like murdered a couple defenders in Salt Lake City a few weeks back in our first away game. So he seems like maybe he'd be up for a game like this. And plus, we're already in a more comfortable position, so it might be an opportunity for Josh to kind of express himself. He is a very skilled player.
Free kick here for Colorado Springs. Came in towards Jome, and he just missed the header. Nothing there for Jome. He kind of jogs off. I think the ref was worried about a head injury. I was worried that he was pointing to the spot because I was about to riot. But no, I think
he really seems like he's trying to do it all for his team and really not getting a lot of support.
Yeah.
I mean,
he has been the main threat. Done a lot of work defensively too. I mean, ultimately has had a good game. He just Jerome gets in behind him for the first goal, and unfortunately, Meg's his counterpart. Unfortunately for Jerome, but
unfortunately for him, yeah, right.
But it is I think as we kind of enter these last, I don't think it's. I think Resend or Castellanos for Resend is probably a decent shout, especially now that Resend's on a yellow. Just to add a little bit of legs down that left hand side, but also, and it will actually be Edson coming on for Resend.
Edson maybe Partida. We won't have as many hot takes this week.
So maybe Mark is just saying, let's get 4 or 5. Let's just.
I mean,
but Edson does give you energy on that left hand side for sure.
Yeah, definitely, and like I've talked about on the pod, he's a traditional winger, so I expect that he's gonna stay on that flank, which also means he'll defend that flank. Is it Calvin who came off for him?
Yeah, Calvin. Okay, Calvin did come off.
Yeah, because Calvin, as we know, is not so disciplined positionally. So when you're trying to defend a lead, it might not suit his style of play. Let's just say that.
I'm not sure. It looks like a foul's been given. I wasn't really sure. That was a little strange. I thought if a foul was given for Locomotive, it looked like Salgado was in a place where you'd play advantage, but It has been pulled back. Partita getting down the line, putting the cross in. Oh, and it was a good one, too. Right on a plate. It nearly fell for Omar, but it was just deflected. It was, I believe it was actually Seb who got his head to it. It looked like it went over Jerome's head. Seba got on the end of it, and then, but he just kind of headed it wide. Now, Colorado Springs also have a change. Malcolm coming off, Matt Hunley coming on. I'm not going to pretend like I know what that means in terms of positioning or, I mean, I'm assuming it's just attacking legs basically at this point.
Yeah, and I actually did listen to a little bit of the Switchbacks fan podcast, and a few of those guys were saying that they were a little upset that Hunley isn't starting as much. So he may be a player that the fans hold in high regard. So we'll see what he can do with 20 minutes to go.
Hopefully not much. We've seen the impact a sub can have in the last 20 minutes from Partita, who is now on. So as Joam now on the end of this one puts a cross in towards the far post, brought down. It's actually Hunley on the end of that one, and well dealt with in the end.
My phone is like blowing up.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Same.
I'm calling the game. Stop talking to me.
The eighth notch group chat is lit right now. As you'd expect with a 2-0 lead on the road. We're in rarefied air here. I mean, we've scored not once but twice on the road, and with just 20 minutes to go, this is a good position. They take the corner short, drop it back outside of the boot, cross in towards the center. Chiro does really well to deal with that. I mean, you have to think, as it looks like Edson's breaking here on the opposite flank. Locos have numbers.
Wide open.
Locos have so many numbers. And can he play this through? Seb rolls it through, and flag goes up. Jerome just needed to hold his run.
Yeah, well, that, but
a little shove there from Clint Irwin.
Kieswetter, yeah.
Jerome.
Anybody
with
lip
some choice.
read?
I think
he definitely wasn't saying have a nice day, so.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think if who was that on the end of the ball trying to play it in? Was it Seb? Someone just takes an extra touch when he probably shouldn't have.
Seb took an extra touch there. Yeah, he should just keep the momentum going forward.
Yeah,
and
just slot it.
I mean, it's 3-on-1 essentially at that point. That is the one area we kind of talked about it too in the episode this past week. Just the speed at which Locomotive counterattack and how it seems very deliberate. Shot here from Colorado Springs, kind of fumbled by Ketterer, but he collects it pretty easily in the end. It was Argueta who had the shot from distance.
I've been really impressed with Logan's play today. He's been very sharp, and even when play hasn't been necessarily, coming towards his goal, he's paid attention. I know a lot of times when keepers aren't doing much in a match, it can be hard to stay focused, but he's done that today, so.
Yeah, I'd say it's so far it's been a really good performance, and but like we were saying, just the speed at which Locomotive counterattack is a little slow. Seb looking to open up a shot, opts to drop it off for Omar. Omar shaping up for a shot too. You can tell he's hungry for a goal.
If Omar scores, that'll be too much. I'll astral project. It's
no,
too much.
Omar definitely hungry right now, and I think it's kind of that attacking instinct. They can smell blood in the water. Colorado Springs are going for, they have to score 2. They're in front of their home fans, so they're definitely going for it. And I think Locomotive's attackers can just smell that they're going to have opportunities before this game is over, and they don't want to pass them up when they come.
Definitely, and I think if this result holds, Switchbacks will be winless in 6.
Yeah,
which is
tough run.
Definitely. So.
And as we've seen today, not a bad team whatsoever. There's definite quality in this side.
Yeah, I mean, like we said on the pod, it's not like they've got this one danger man, but each of them working together. They're a team with a lot of pace. Joam seems to be a really quality player. So yeah, they're not mugs by any means, but I do think that we have more attacking quality than they do, and that showed
Great
today.
flick through. I thought it was probably a foul. I think he's played advantage. Kiffy bursting through now. I think it was Partita actually with that flick to Kiffy. Really impressive move there on the sideline in a tight space. And Locomotive, I mean, pretty happy to just pass things around and wait for that great opening rather than... And ball slid through. Contreras, Kiesewetter on for a hat trick. Flicks it over the keeper, and it's into the penalty area. No one was at the far post. 75 minutes gone. Kiesewetter with a little bit better touch. I think the defender does well there. But a little bit better touch, and he's in for the hat trick.
The angle is really harsh there.
Yeah.
If he had lobbed that into the goal, it would have been really lucky. But, yeah, the angle's harsh. I think if he touched it better, there might have been a better chance. But
yeah. Colorado Springs coming back the other way.
Fernie says, why am I still nervous being up 2-0?
Because
Facts.
we have scar tissue, Fernie, that's why.
Yeah. It's getting a bit dark outside, isn't it?
Yeah. Sun's going down here in El Paso, as it is in Colorado as well, as that ball's curled in.
Now that I think about it, do they have lights on this pitch? Like, it does look pretty dark.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Like, maybe that's why they kicked off at 6. It's like playing a pickup game with your friends where you're like, all right, we got to be done by, like, before dark. I got to be home.
Right.
Kiesewetter does really well to hold up play there and play it out wide for Omar. That's kind of a facet of his game we haven't really seen so much, but really well done there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to use the word selfish because that's not what it is, but it just seems like Omar takes out
the advertising boards, as we saw, crumbling easily.
Is he okay? He hasn't gotten up.
Omar is still down behind the goal. He chased the ball, kind of his own heavy touch. It looks like Chapa's coming on for Seba. I think just one of those moves kind of trying to add some control to that midfield.
Yeah, and I think Contreras, it looked like he was starting to get a little gas. Some of his touches were a little off. He did play the ball out inadvertently on the right wing a few minutes ago. So I think overall a really good game from our number 10.
Yeah, Seb with a decent performance, good shift, and Chapa just coming in to see things out. Still waiting for another shot of Omar. He chases...
Does no one care about Omar?
And it looks like Derek might also be being ready, probably for Omar, if I had to guess. They haven't shown him. He ran into the advertising boards behind the Colorado Springs goal as he chased his own touchdown. And
game is restarted, and we don't know what happened.
They are only showing Chapa, and they're still showing Omar. There, he ran into the advertising boards, which are literally just like sandwich boards placed up on the side of the field. So he had no way to kind of brace his run, and just ran straight through it. He is up though, and I think he has been substituted though. Cross in towards the center. And it was a golden opportunity. Who was that flying in? It was James Kiffy, who had come all the way, basically playing center forward from left back. He should do better with that chance. I think it was Partita putting the service in.
Kiffy's got just so much freedom in attacking phases of the match. I did not realize that was him in the middle. Oh my goodness, the goal is gaping.
He should have left it.
That should have been 3-0.
He should have left it for Chapa. Honestly, Chapa was behind him, and Chapa motioning to the space in front of him as if to say, like, just leave it.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
Kiffy with his right foot, not quite as magical as Kiffy with his left.
Exactly. Wow. I did not expect to see him up there, that's for sure. Especially not here in the 79th minute.
Right, 79th minute, 2-0 up, and James Kiffy is running into the penalty area, into the 6-yard box. Omar is still on the field, so I'm not sure what's going on, because it looked like Derek had come on, but maybe not.
Yeah, they didn't really show us exactly what was going on. I know we saw Derek kind of getting ready on the field. I don't know that he actually came on.
Yeah.
There's Omar right there, is it not?
Yeah, Omar is definitely still on the field. It looked like Derek was coming on, but maybe not. maybe that change will happen in a few minutes, or maybe Derek
as
will.
USL superimposes a graphic right on top of play.
Where the ball is, yeah.
Sweet.
At least make it kind of transparent, guys. Like as Colorado really, they're working hard to get this goal back, but I mean, Locomotive have done such a good job of nullifying everything that Colorado Springs is trying to do.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it looks like Switchbacks weren't really able to kind of get into a consistent passing groove. I mean, I don't know that that's necessarily their game anyway, but they have not spent as much time on the ball as they probably would have liked, especially at home.
Yeah. Well, and the thing we were most concerned about, obviously, coming into this one is playing it, in a tough away environment.
As Yuma just fucking destroys that man.
While he's trying to play the ball out for an injury, I think.
Yeah.
He's trying to fair play while he just ruins a whole man's career.
Oh man, I love Yuma. Love it.
It is kind of crazy to see an old pro like this just playing at this level, because I mean,
yeah,
Yuma has been in the lower divisions kind of the U.S. for a few years now.
Yeah.
But he does have all of the qualities of a guy who spent a majority of his career in La Liga.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the thing about Spanish football is that they value technicality over everything and team play, and you can see that in the way that Yuma plays and the way that he's a leader on the pitch. He spent a lot of time in Tercera, obviously with Rayo Vallecano, and I think he does still have a lot of affection for that club. So, he's definitely that quintessential Spanish midfielder. But he's got some grit to him too, which I think maybe he might have picked up playing here in the United States.
So now Omar will limp off. I think that may have been a little bit of a delaying tactic there from Mark, just helping take some time off the clock. But Derek is introduced. Looks good, looks fresh as he comes on. Rocking the light blue long sleeves.
I was just gonna say, I wonder if it's cold up there or if he's just like trying to like kill him.
Fair play from Colorado Springs, playing the throw back to Yuma, who had put it out for the injury initially. Derek immediately trying to press Joan with a decent turn to get away, bursting into space, and once again, as you said, trying to do everything himself. I don't think there's much contact there, and it will be out for a Locomotive goal kick. But I mean, this guy at left back, he's been impressive.
Yeah, I mean, again, it seems like he's trying to do everything in defense, midfield, and attack. So that's a lot of burden for someone on left back, but just not getting the support from his teammates, unfortunately. But he's a good little player. Yeah,
this is like we said, just this is by no means a bad team. So I think it just emphasizes, one, the progress of this Locomotive squad. We've talked about it. We've talked about how some of these players, just needed time, just need a little bit of more kind of time together to really gel and start to come together as a unit. And I mean, you can see in the goals scored and in this play in the second half, it's been front to back. We talked about last week the first half against Reno being maybe our most complete half. I think we're watching our actual most complete half of soccer played right now.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a really great performance. I mean, I really can't single anyone out for any poor performance. I'm not really sure what Switchbacks is trying to do right now. If I were them, I'd just be hoofing it. They're trying to pass it out from the back, and it's like, you don't have time for that. But that plays to our strength, so whatever.
Right. They need to... Yeah, they need to go full Stoke.
Full Pulis ball.
Yeah, Pulis, and just really try to just go route one. But I mean, the ironic thing being that the team whose philosophy is playing out from the back is the ones with the big men up top, and
exactly, yeah.
And Colorado Springs maybe not don't have the personnel to play that route one kind of hoofball, but. They are obviously going to try to break back into this one. They've left their strikers really isolated still.
Yeah.
And as much as they've committed forward, it doesn't.
Ketterer undisputed goal. What does that even mean?
Ketterer undisputed goalkeeper. I mean, if if we're talking about this game specifically, no one has tried to take the goalkeeping position from him.
Yeah.
Like usurp it during the match in some way.
Right,
So
like
maybe
some
he
kinda
is
like-
the undisputed goalkeeper.
Like Jermaine hasn't like charged onto the pitch and been
He
like,
hasn't laid claim
this
to the
my
goal.
shit now. Yeah. What is
That was
going
strange.
on?
I'm not really sure. It could be maybe there's a sponsored kind of the undisputed best goalkeeper of the game. I'm not sure.
Which there's only two to like choose from.
I'm not sure. 86
not
minutes
sure.
gone. I think Locomotive just earned a corner off a terrible back pass. So there is this game is entering like just total banter levels right now. Just very
I don't know what the instructions are from Switchback's manager. I have no clue what they're getting at.
Reeves was attempting to play it back to the keeper, and just kicked it out for a goal kick or for a corner kick.
How do we feel about these short corners?
I
hate when Arsenal does it.
Yeah.
But like when Locomotive does it, I'm like, okay, I get it because you don't really want to like give up possession at this level. But
I think right now, I'd say like this deep in the game, I definitely get, take the corner to the corner.
Right.
Just try to get a foul or try to earn another corner. That's how just whittle away the time.
Right.
But as far as during the game and during the kind of run of play, I don't like a short corner unless there's a clear kind of plan of how we're creating a chance. Because, I mean, essentially a corner is a free, good chance.
Right.
As Partita's onto this ball, he's going to play it through for Derek, and he just undercooked it a little bit.
I think Derek and Jerome were kind of making the same run there, so it gave Chapa kind of like a difficult decision because he's like, I got to play the ball to the same area, essentially.
It was Chapa, too, and that's what I thought. I thought it was Partita.
Was it Partita? It might have been.
But either way,
yeah,
it was just...
Can't read because the jerseys are written in white.
Can't see the numbers. And there's no lights on the field.
No,
and it's
like
dark AF. Like, it literally looks like the sun is about to set, and, like, we're not going to be able to see what's happening anymore.
This is so
Yuma kind of
USL.
misses this kick outside the boot, cross to the far post, and just too many touches taken. I think it was Shinyashiki.
I'm not going to say the words, but I don't want us to lose it. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. They just need to hold on here. It's gonna. I mean, regardless, in the USL, the end of games are nervy. It's just kind of the nature of this league.
Yeah.
But
how's the chat looking?
With the scar tissue. Let's see.
Adrian says trying to do it on a chilly, dry night in Colorado Springs. Fair play.
Exactly.
Look at this scramble. Oh my god.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
I'm gonna be thinking about this all week.
Okay. I want to go ahead and say that I know this is a Switchbacks broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that it's a local broadcast. I know they're picking out their critical moment. But if the game was tied, then that would be the critical moment, keeping out a goal.
Right.
You've conceded twice. It is 2-0. That cannot be the critical moment of the match because it literally didn't affect the result.
Right.
Unless they,
That's a little... Ooh. Does he keep
by
that in?
Kiesewetter. Sorry, Ketterer. Too many K names. I think Duke did that on the broadcast, so I don't feel bad about it. Duke is the man.
Love
long
Duke.
ball played out. Edson just... I think Edson taking on the instructions of the game against Orange County where he scored 2 goals and went for a hat trick. Nice little interchange there with Jerome. Brought down there. I mean, it's got to be a free kick, right?
Well, and also it's got to be a card, right? Because we're giving cards for all of this kind of contact.
And it does not look like anything has been given. It was a goal kick.
Ref.
But yeah, so let's see. Trying to do a chilly, dry night in Colorado Springs. But, so, man of the match or player ratings. I don't necessarily want to go, like, player by player, but, man of the match for today.
It's got to be Jerome, doesn't
Yeah.
it? I mean, not just because he scored, but because of all the other little things that he did around the pitch. He looked to hold the play up more, to drop deep and get involved and get on the ball more. His attitude looked really good today. He didn't look like he was throwing his arms up in frustration, but I mean that might just be because he's starting to click with his teammates. So, yeah, he's my man of the match.
It's Jerome for sure. In a game like this, I mean, we basically the only thing lacking from our past 2 away performances was goals.
Right.
There wasn't, they weren't bad performances by any stretch of the imagination. And all they were lacking were goals, and we got them both through Jerome. So it's impossible to really give the man of the match to anyone else. As this header comes through, that was awkward for everyone to deal with. Luckily, Seth completely just dorked that whole thing up. I don't really even know. He slid in. I think he was put off a little bit by Ketterer as well.
Seth has had a really tough night. I mean, the service has been atrocious, and when he has gotten on the ball, he hasn't really been able to do anything too threatening. I mean, this chance is very awkward, but he doesn't even get a boot to it, so he's frustrated, as you can tell from that clip, from that replay.
I will also Harry, thanks for stopping by. Always a pleasure. And keep up just like being the gold standard of USL podcast consumption, like unreal.
Yeah, it's really awesome to see people in the comments that are like not my friends. Like, I love seeing my friends in there, but it's like, obviously you guys watch it because you're trying to support us, so it's really cool to see people from the USL community. So yeah, thank you, Harry. Shout
out to Christian as well for probably my favorite joke of the chat so far. This is going to turn into last week's Game of Thrones episode in terms of lighting. I'm going to have to turn the brightness up on this screen quite a bit. I think there are lights. Like, I'm now realizing that there are lights, but they really are, like, we're hitting like the bare minimum of illumination.
Yeah, to the point where it's like, I wonder what the regs are in the league, because like this could get dangerous if you can't see what the hell you're doing.
It's probably dangerously close in terms of broadcast regulations.
Yeah.
But it is. All right, we've kind of neglected the game for the last 4 minutes, but
I mean we're managing it.
Yeah, we're same as Locomotive. This is a professional performance. We're just trying to see this out. But there are 4 minutes of added time. 2 of those minutes have already been played. Locomotive are looking like they're about to come away with a very, very good quality 3 points on the road and go all the way to 6th. In the USL Championship.
Amazing.
West, obviously.
Yeah, which is basically its own league, yeah.
Right. This is...
I'm really... I'm impressed by the fact that when Partida gets on the ball, he is also going with Mark's instructions, which is like, don't do anything fancy. Keep your foot on the ball and let's just see this out. Because we know when he played against OC, he got the brace, which is excellent, but... in times where we could have managed the game a little bit better, he was trying to kind of do something else, get the hat trick, and so it's good to see his development and kind of maturity in this phase of the game.
Absolutely, yeah. He's definitely been a value added as a sub, as has Chapa, which that would make 2 very quality sub appearances in a row for Chapa, coming in against Reno and completing 100% of his passes.
Absolutely, yeah. Chapa's a really good option to have on the bench, and of course he's one of our own. Is that a
little nervy moment there as
someone loses
a shin guard. And good challenge there by Ryan on the edge of the area, got the ball and does well to come away with it. Jerome running in behind, just looking to kill the game, and it's out for a Locomotive throw. That should just about do it. We should be hearing the final whistle momentarily, and that is it. Jerome with his jersey over his face. I mean, it's not that serious, right? Like, it's a tough loss, but...
I mean, I guess you could see how much it means to him, and he's got nothing to be embarrassed about. He had a really great game. I think he'll be looking at his teammates wondering what that performance was. I think Joan was excellent for them.
Yuma just went down at the final whistle, kind of holding his hamstring.
The Better Business Bureau Man of the Match.
I mean, at least they got that right. Yeah. They gave it to Joan, which, I mean, he
was excellent.
He was definitely Colorado Springs' best players.
So that makes 2 wins in a row, Phil?
It is 2 in a row for the first time.
2 in a row.
This is rarefied.
Jerome's first 2 goals for the club.
Yeah.
First away win. We're breaking records out here.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty interesting. We are up. I mean, it is another clean sheet. It's a 2-0. That is our 5th clean sheet of the season. Locomotive up to 7th technically. Level on points with Rio Grande Valley, Reno. So, I guess tied for 5th, level on 5th. And then it's only goals for that we are behind on because we're level on goal difference as well.
Nice.
But we do have a game in hand on Rio Grande. So the upper reaches of the Western Conference, interesting point. We still have a game in hand against our opponents next week, New Mexico United, and can go above them with a win.
And that would just be amazing because, as we know, New Mexico United have been in stellar form. I mean, I said a few pods ago that they would regress to the mean. I mean, they did lose to Reno, didn't they? But other than that, they've been doing bits in the Western Conference. They play a pretty counterattacking, direct style, so it'll be interesting to see how that kind of matches up with our philosophy, which is very much keep the ball on the ground, pass and open up the space for a through ball. But we are at home, so we expect everyone who's watching this, at least the locals, to be in attendance. We know it's Mother's Day. Bring your mom.
Yep.
Like, seriously. Just bring all the moms.
Yep.
And come out and support the guys because the derby, it's going to be a big match.
Yeah.
And I know some people are traveling from Albuquerque, so.
Yeah, there will be some New Mexico United fans in attendance from northern New Mexico. I like to think Las Cruces is part of Locos territory.
We claim Las Cruces.
So it is next Saturday, the 12th. It will be awesome. What a match it will be, and Locomotive climbing the table here with a professional 2-0 performance against Colorado Springs on the road. Things coming together for the Locos and headed into a big match next weekend. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this broadcast. If so, go ahead, find us on your favorite podcast app if you haven't already. iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, all the rest. And like, subscribe, whatever there, leave a review, whatever you guys are feeling. And we will catch you with a new episode hopefully next week. Some complications there, but other than that, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and until next time, stay loco.